Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Only about one more day of 2025 after this, so...
Yeah, and it's been an interesting year when it comes to weather, particularly for our winter season. We've been dealing with ongoing heavy snowfall out towards southeast, where some areas have picked up well over 3 to 4 feet of snowfall since this storm system began to impact the Panhandle. Now, here across South Central, our snow depth continues, or our snow deficit, I should say, continues to increase. Now, we did see some light snow showers through the weekend, and we'll hold on to a slight chance for some flurries today, but the better opportunity will come for coastal regions. 14 degrees is where we're currently sitting at. Winds have died down across South Central. We really began to see those winds dying down around the evening commute yesterday. With that said, we are still holding on to some occasional gust up to about 20 to 30 miles per hour for inland areas, while Seward will continue to hold on to winds gusting up to 45 miles per hour throughout the day as we continue to see those northerly winds, which is those gap winds, which will continue to remain with Seward. As far as what we are seeing temperature-wise, those many areas across South Central seeing those temperatures sitting in the teens, although it feels a little bit colder outside. Feels like 0 degrees here in Anchorage. All you need is just a light wind to drop those wind chills down. You can see the coolest location, Wasilla as well as Golcana, seeing those sub-zero values. So again, we can't rule out some light snow showers through the day. Better opportunity out towards the Gulf Coast region. You can see particularly through Prince William Sound. Very weak wave at that. So if we do see anything building into inland areas of South Central, it'll just be some flurries in the forecast. Now, coming up in my full forecast, we'll be talking about this ongoing heavy snowfall and rain for the Panhandle. Bitter cold settles back in across Alaska, and we're also talking about the potential that highs here in South Central into the new year could be sitting below zero. I'll have those details in that 7-day coming up.
Alaskan veteran who fought for the U.S. and more recently Ukraine has been killed in battle. Growing up in Anchorage, Richard Kaplan said his stepson, Shawn David McVey, embraced the outdoors and his big family. Fulfilling his dreams of military service, McVey joined the U.S. Army in 2010, serving 2 tours in Afghanistan. Upon returning to Anchorage, he worked for the Municipal Parks Department while battling PTSD. In the midst of loss, Kaplan said McVey couldn't stand by after Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Since Shawn was a little boy, he always thought about others. He was concerned about people's safety, about protecting them, you know, his sisters, everybody around him. Shawn always just pulled through, strength and courage and perseverance.
McVey was injured in 2024, leading to a cancer diagnosis that likely stemmed from an IED wound in Afghanistan, but he beat the disease and returned to fight.
He said, my mission's not done. You know, I have to go back. My teammates are there and people are dying needlessly, and I need to fight for them.
McVey is survived by his father, 5 sisters, and 2 brothers, and his father is now living in Florida, but they said the family hopes to return to Alaska sometime this summer to hold a memorial and spread McVey's ashes. A situation turned nearly fatal on the slopes of Denali. Adelmi Ruiz joins us now from the newsroom with that story. Adelmi.
Kristen, 2 local climbers say they know what it's like when North America's tallest peak forces you to retreat. Dalton Borden and Lane Christensen say that building a shelter may have saved their lives when a windstorm hit with little warning. The 2 say they started their climb on December 16th in the dead of winter. The climbers recall winds reaching 60 miles an hour with gusts hitting 90. Without shelter, they could have died from hypothermia. In a quick decision, the duo built a snow shelter.
In times like that, you can't really have, arguments or conversations just because it's kind of a matter of life and death and it needs to just happen. So we built the whole, it was probably a half-person snow cave. It wasn't even a really big snow cave. But we built it. By the time we had built it, we placed our sleds over the roof and then our skis over the roof to use for support and piled snow on top.
They huddled inside for over 15 hours. The 2 UAA students were attempting what only a handful of climbers have ever tried, but the storm soaked their gear and they turned around. Borden says they learned hard lessons, build the shelter earlier, and protect gear better. Christensen and Dalton hope to try again, but we'll see what the future holds. Kristen?
All right, thanks, Adelmi. The cold is intense in the interior, and while we're Alaskans and many know how to keep warm, sometimes the heating in your home just can't keep up. Adrian Peterson spoke to local professionals about how people can prepare their homes and what they should do once it warms up.
Here at the University of Alaska, it's about 25 below, but down in the valley, you can see the inversion layer where homes are exposed to 40 below temperatures. According to Prospector Plumbing and Heating in Fairbanks, they have had their workers out on calls almost around the clock as homes in the area have faced heating issues with the extreme cold. While some residents may try to remedy their issues using online tips and advice from neighbors, technicians say homeowners should only follow the advice of certified technicians. That advice includes a focus on preventative maintenance before deep freeze hits in the winter. Even here at the University of Alaska, where it's above the inversion layer, homes are still struggling to keep their pipes from freezing.
We tune and clean the boiler. We also look at a lot of the near boiler deficiencies that we recommend addressing. Maybe these things will work when it's 30 degrees or 0 degrees, but when it's negative 30 degrees and your system's been working that hard for 2 weeks straight, it's possible it's going to fail at those temperatures. So preventative maintenance is huge for your boiler and your heating infrastructure, even for your plumbing.
Smith says it's also important to get maintenance done after a deep freeze like we've seen here in the interior, where those boilers and heating systems have been working on overdrive. He recommends getting that done in February or March, depending on conditions. Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
And with these dangerous temperatures, drivers can also find themselves stranded with cars frozen in place.
So you plug into it, you go in for bed, you come out the next morning, your car's froze up. Happens all the time.
Steve Martin, owner of X-Ray Motors in Fairbanks, says he gets calls every day from stranded drivers, battery frozen, engine seized. He says some simple checks at the start of the day can help prevent a number of issues, including making sure the oil isn't leaking, putting air into tires deflated by the cold, and making sure your plugged-in car is actually getting electricity. And he says a good battery is a must.
If the battery is 5 years old, it generally is not going to get it through the next winter.
Martin also recommends starting your car every day, even if it's plugged in, and not letting it sit for multiple days. State leaders here in Alaska are looking at how to transform how Alaskans, especially in rural Alaska, get health care, saying earlier that a massive federal investment could do that.
This is going to enable significant improvements to life and safety in rural Alaska.
Alaska is set to receive about $1.4 billion over 5 years, making it the second highest recipient nationally. State leaders say the money will target expanding both primary and specialty care, rural hospitals, technology upgrades, including telehealth, and growing the rural health workforce. But the state has some work to do first. The legislature must establish how the money will be distributed during the upcoming session. They say they'll start holding meetings in mid-January. Leaders were clear this has nothing to do with the Affordable Care Act, with subsidies expiring soon for some Alaskans. They say this would build infrastructure, not insurance subsidies.
When communities are separated by hundreds of miles with no road system, extreme weather is a constant factor, and many of us have experienced this even recently. Limited infrastructure presents its challenges. Doing things the usual way here in Alaska simply is not an option.
We need to do more when it comes to just modernizing our facilities, modernizing the way we are reaching out to those in need of access to care, whether it is health IT systems or whether it's just making sure that there is access in a way that is meaningful to people in more remote and isolated areas.
One of the questions they'll have to work through, how will this work with the tribes? Coming up, it's just one day away now, the end of 2025, and what better to send the year out than with a fireworks show. We'll share some safety tips and where you can enjoy the fireworks next.
Ongoing heavy snowfall continues to impact the Panhandle. I'll have what to expect as we welcome in the new year, but first at sunrise, 10:14 in Anchorage, 8:45 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
13 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday morning, or I guess this New Year's Eve, Aaron.
Yeah, and we're talking about heavy snowfall that's been impacting areas of the Panhandle. In fact, take a look at this incredible video coming in from Hoonah. This video coming in from Eliana Elliott. You can see that's a barge in the background. And I like what she wrote when she sent this video in. She says, "The cold doesn't whisper, it slams." And we're talking about freezing spray that you're seeing there that's accumulating on the barges as well as areas out towards the dock in Hoonah. And this is heavy snowfall that's been impacting the Panhandle for the past several days. We still got our ridge of high pressure off towards the north as well as out towards the Aleutians, but this is the active weather we're seeing building in across the Gulf Coast region. Winds have really died down significantly across South Central, and not looking like any signs that those winds are going to increase over the next couple of days. But of course, the big concern we continue to watch is that ongoing active weather across Southeast that's leading to heavy snowfall through the northern Panhandle and areas of the central Panhandle, while waves of rain continue to impact areas to the south. In fact, you can see numerous storm reports, heavy snowfall that's been impacting areas from Juneau north out towards Haines, Skagway, and then even out towards Hyder, where we've seen upwards of about 3 feet of snow accumulation. Then you can see through southern parts of the Panhandle where we've been holding on to some heavy snowfall. Now, these are just some snowfall totals, storm total that we've been dealing with through the southeastern parts of the Panhandle. You can see 5 miles southeast of Haines. Inches of snow accumulation. Juneau, right around the North Douglas area, has seen 26 inches, while Hyder has seen just under 36 inches of snowfall. Then you can see just 1 mile northwest of Haines has picked up just under 44 inches of snow accumulation. Those are the storm reports I've been able to find for Southeast, and we're going to continue to see additional rounds of heavy snowfall that's going to grip areas of the Panhandle. So from Juneau points northward, you'll see an additional 10 plus inches of snowfall today, while waves of rain will continue for areas to the south, which has already caused some flooding concerns. Now, while the flood advisory has been allowed to expire with ongoing waves of rain building in across the Panhandle, we could still see some flooding concerns. But heavy snowfall, you can see into early tomorrow morning. We could see upwards of a foot of snow accumulation for areas from Juneau points northward, and then additional rounds of snow building in as we welcome in the new year on into next year. We're going to continue to see waves of snowfall staying with us. So that's in terms of the snow, but additional rain will still build in to southern parts of the Panhandle, where we could see an additional 1 to about 2.5 inches of rainfall accumulation. And again, while we're not seeing that flood advisory, we've already seen reports coming in from southern parts of the Panhandle out towards Thorn Bay. Water has been over the roads, and then out towards the Ward Lake recreational area, we have seen some rising waters as well. And that was reported as of yesterday. So just take note, the next couple of days, ongoing heavy snowfall as well as rain will continue to sweep through the Panhandle, and this will bring several inches of snowfall accumulation. Would not be surprised by New Year's Day if we see some areas of Southeast where we pick up an additional 1 to 2 feet of snowfall.
New Year's Eve is just around the corner, and the city of Houston is the only area in South Central where lighting personal fireworks is legal. Ahead of the Bertrand spoke with firefighters to learn how you can ring in the new year while staying safe.
It's the perfect time to light up that dark Alaska sky and celebrate with a bang.
It's a special tradition that only comes once a year. While Alaskans spend most of the winter enjoying the beauty of the auroras, this Wednesday will see fireworks light up the sky over Houston.
We keep it legal in the city of Houston because fireworks are safe when used properly and when used in accordance with their actual manufacturer guidelines.
While dry conditions usually lead to certain types of fireworks being banned in Houston for the 4th of July, the winter season allows for a bigger show.
During the wintertime, Roman candles are fine, the rockets are fine. The biggest thing is remembering that you are responsible for those fireworks when you shoot them off.
I've seen a lot of families and groups coming out, putting whole shows together. Everything from a show in the box where it's one light and it has anywhere from 9 to 100 plus shots going up to individual mortar or artillery shells.
Despite the eased restrictions, Houston Fire Chief Christian Hartley wants people to be aware of a few safety tips.
Do not shoot off fireworks anywhere closer than about 50 feet from the trees. And if they go into the trees, go over there and make sure that it didn't light anything on fire. Metal tip sparklers, the tips of them can burn at 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's enough to weld with. That should not be in the hands of a child. There is nowhere in this in the Mat-Su Valley where it is legal to shoot off fireworks after 1 a.m. on New Year's.
There's nothing like putting some magic in the sky, putting smiles on kids' faces, really ringing in the new year with a bang. And we just ask everybody to celebrate responsibly, have fun, and be done by 1.
A few reminders to start the new year in a safe and exciting way. Jace Bertrand, Alaska's news source.
And you can catch fireworks in Anchorage at 8 p.m. downtown at 3rd Avenue and East Street. You can also see fireworks at 8 p.m. in Eagle River at Lions Park. That's 8 o'clock in Wasilla as well for fireworks at Iditarod Park. And in Girdwood, Alyeska is doing its annual Torchlight Parade, followed by fireworks at 9 p.m. In the interior, UAF will host the 36th annual Sparktacular with fireworks from UAF's West Ridge starting at 8 p.m. Also in Fairbanks at 9 o'clock, look for fireworks at the 8-Star Event Center. And in all cases, please dress for the weather. And in this case, that means the cold. Will keep you up to date on other displays as well.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.